Good morning, people. Good morning. Especially a good morning to all my fellow Liverpool fans out there. Eh? Good result yesterday. Very, very good result. 3 from 3. And I think that's a tough start. Leeds at home, because everyone's hyped about Leeds. Chelsea away, all that new money being spent. And Arsenal at home. And I say home, away, home. It's just like all neutral grounds right now, right? So big result for Liverpool. They're fucking mowing the lawn outside. There's a communal lawn and they decided to start cutting it at like 8:45. So that noise you hear, you probably hear it, it's them. Annoying. Annoying. You know what, someone sent me an email the other day and said, obviously I start my shows, I always say good morning and then look down and then type away. And they ask what am I doing? Literally, I'm just turning my laptop on because that's the thing I'm doing. Turning my laptop on and then opening up Boxing Scene, World Boxing News, and a couple of Twitter pages. Michael Benson's open up and Mike Coppinger. That's all I do for those of you that want to know. All right, very quickly before we start, I feel like I should tell you this. A lot of people reach out and ask about getting into journalism, especially young kids. There was a really good kid that I done something, Addy and Friends. He was about 16, 17. I can't remember his name. It's on that phone. And I thought he could do really well in journalism given the chance. If you're watching this, text me because TalkSport have just launched an apprentice scheme to find and develop young talent. Get paid and you get an NTCJ qualification, which is a National Certificate of something journalism. I should know, but I don't have that myself. All right. Applications close October the 12th. But obviously, if you are interested, I might be able to fast track your application. But look, this is a good opportunity for anyone that wants to get into journalism. A lot of people ask, Ade, how'd you get into it? Obviously, I've kind of gone for it a different route, but this is a good way if anyone wants to get into it. Just go onto TalkSport's Twitter page and you'll see the application there. But I think this is a good opportunity. I really do. I think TalkSport is a fantastic place to work. You learn a lot. You get skills. They constantly grill you and try and make you the best you can be. And I've enjoyed it. I've been there since January and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Literally, I go to work excited to go. I leave here in a couple of hours and I'm excited to get there and just have fun talking about sport. Honestly, you can't beat it. So if anyone's interested, email me and I will try and sort of just put your application above others, so to speak. All right, final thing about me, because what's about me, innit? Before we start talking boxing. Sky have chosen me for deadline day, which is nice. I just got an email a couple of days ago asking if I can do it. Imagine that. They're actually asking if I can do it. That's unbelievable. Yeah, of course I can do it. But I guess they're asking because of my TalkSport schedule. But they're asking if I can do it. I am doing it. So I'm at Sky on Monday. Well, Sky this Wednesday, but more importantly, Monday, deadline day. You always want to be involved in deadline day because it's exciting. You got all the agents ringing up. You got players trying to get deals done. You got players that will make their own way to get medicals just to see if they can get anything done. There's always a last minute deal. And it's just an exciting, fun place to be. So I look forward to doing that. All right. One of my favorite fighters fights this Sunday, Milton Keynes. Ooh, jeez. I remember linking a girl there, I'm going to say about 12 years ago, maybe a bit longer than that. And I remember going to the area thinking, this is dead. I remember it just being roundabouts everywhere. It almost looked like a place that had just literally been built the day before I got there, and it was just roundabouts. Dead area. Anyway, Joshua Buatsi fights in Milton Keynes this Sunday. Bit of a random day. We are used to our Saturday boxing. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on Saturday that they can't have it, but he's fighting at the Marshall Arena. Can't lie to you, I've never ever heard of that arena. But he's back, and that's the most important thing. We haven't seen Buatsi since he fought in August of 2019 against Ryan Ford. And that was a tricky fight. Remember, I think in the end, I think he stopped him with a body shot, I remember. But I remember Ryan Ford complaining that was a low blow, and there was a couple of low blows in it. So it wasn't the best performance, but he got the job done against Ryan Ford. He's back. He was supposed to fight on that Katie Taylor card, the one that had Crawler on it as well. So it was Crawler, it was Katie Taylor versus that Greek girl. He was supposed to fight Blake Caparello, which I thought was a decent fight at the time. I know people complain about everything, but I thought that was a decent step. It was definitely a step above Ryan Ford. So he's gone back down, I think. I know he's gone back down. And he's taken on Marko Kalic, who is unbeaten, but hasn't really fought anyone, hasn't really mixed it with anyone. So that's Buatsi. Before we talk more about Buatsi, the opponent, how I think the fight would go down, let's have a quick look at the full card. And let's do our usual scores on the doors. Again, the card is this Sunday. So yeah, random day, but this Sunday, and the Marshall Arena in Milton Keynes. All right. So we've got John Hedges making his debut, super middleweight John Hedges. He's taking on Julio Cesar, who's 3-4. Aqib Fiaz, who's 5-0, a lightweight, taking on Kane Baker, 13-6. Got Alan Babic against Niall Kennedy. Alan Babic obviously unbeaten, 4-0, taking on Niall Kennedy, 13-1-1. It's weird, right? You just take boxing to strange. Like, I never heard of Babic, never heard of him. And all of a sudden, he gets put on this card, speaks well, talks the talk, gets the win, right, in impressive fashion. And all of a sudden now he's being pushed a bit. No doubt he will face someone, and not trying to say Niall Kennedy's not of note, but someone that we know if he can get 3 or 4 more wins. And I like this, right? You just fought, fight again. Like, if he can get rid of Niall Kennedy, fight again. Literally, I mean, heavyweights don't have to fight again. If you can get through Niall Kennedy without no damage, go again. Go again in a couple of weeks. Look at a fight card and go again. I saw Mike Tyson talking to Gervonta Davis. I think I mentioned this a couple of days ago. And I think he mentioned that he had, I can't remember what he said. It was something ridiculous though. Something like 19 fights in a couple of months, or 3, 4, I can't remember, but it was something ridiculous that even Gervonta Davis was like, what? I mean, you can't do that now. Why can't you? Why can't you? If you're medically cleared to fight and you go through no damage, as Tyson was back in the day, because Tyson was just getting rid of guys in 1 round, fight. So yeah, it's good to see Babic back. Middleweight fight here. This is English middleweight title. We got Linus Udofia against John Harding Jr. Udofia is 15-0. I want to see. I know he's fought someone. So he fought someone that I was like, okay, Tyler Denny. That was last time out. He was 12-1. Before that, the opposition has been pretty weak, right? It has been, but he's unbeaten. Let's see what he can do against John Harding, who has lost 1. He got stopped, didn't he? By, I can't remember, but I'll soon tell you. Got stopped by Jack Cullen. That's not bad. Jack Cullen's pretty decent, and that was for an English middleweight title as well. So this is his 2nd time challenging for this belt. Decent little scrap, that. John Harding does look in really good shape. He's obviously been out there with Dillian White in Portugal, and he just looks fantastic. All right, then you got Joshua Buatsi, Marko Kalic, and that's for the WBA International Light Heavyweight title. And then you got Chantel Cameron versus Adriana Dos Santos. I can't pronounce the surname, I'm not going to try. And that's for WBC World Female Super Lightweight title. Okay, so we've got a world title fight on there. Both of those ladies are unbeaten. Scores on the doors for that. English middleweight title fight, Babic against Niall Kennedy. Don't know too much about Niall Kennedy, but heavyweights are heavyweights, right? World title fight, Chantel Cameron. I'm greedy. I just want more. I'm so greedy. I'm so greedy. I just want a bit more. But I don't know. What scores are you giving it? 5? 5? I know half of these, but I know that how 90% of these fights are playing out. Five. I'm just happy to see Buatsi back. All right, let's talk a bit more about Buatsi before we touch on the rest of the card and before we look at the other stories making the headlines today. He needs to go. Buatsi has said, this is his 12th fight, this will be his 13th fight. Buatsi has said that he wants to have 2 fights this year and then obviously kick the doors down in 2021. I thought that would have been the plan for 2020. Obviously, it's been interrupted a bit. He's had injuries and COVID, so we can say, okay, you are kind of behind where you wanted to be right now, but if you can play catch up, fine. Marko Kalic, again, I looked at his record a couple of days ago and said, I'm not best pleased that Buatsi's fighting this level of opponent because I've already thought he's past that level, but Kalic is unbeaten, and unbeaten fighters do come with something. Even though he hasn't fought anyone, they do come with something. Like, you look at Kalic's record, and the last guy he fought was 3-4. Before that, 31-27. Before that, 3-0, 6-1, 2-0, 17-19. So he hasn't fought anyone, but that doesn't mean he can't fight anyone. Yeah, so it's a difference. Yes, the resume isn't great, but he's beaten all those guys. He can probably go higher himself. And this is obviously a big step up for him, but it's also a very big opportunity. This is where Buatsi needs to make a statement. He needs, like, 3 rounds max. 3 rounds, look sharp, get in, get out, fight again on the undercard of Joshua Pulev. That's what he should do. And that opponent for Joshua Pulev should be, I don't know, maybe a Blake Caparello. Maybe. People might say no, and maybe they think Buatsi's past that. I don't know if Buatsi's past that. Right now, I don't know where Buatsi is. I like to think Buatsi's at European level, but who knows? Who knows, right? Buatsi, again, just needs to have a good performance here, needs to kick on and needs to really go for 2021. And whether that means he fights a Callum Johnson or an Anthony, I don't actually care anymore. I just want him to go and get in that mix. Just because I think he's capable of getting in that mix. I like Buatsi a lot. I like his temperament. So I just like things he does outside of the ring. Forget what he does in the ring. I just like the way in which he handles business outside. He's so calm, so very much a throwback to like a 70s boxer. He doesn't really talk, doesn't really hype things up, but gets in the ring and gets the job done. I appreciate that. Because, look, in terms of selling a fight, I mean, people might not appreciate it. Like, the people behind the scenes might say, okay, you need to sell a fight a bit more. But you get guys that talk the talk and don't deliver. I'd rather you just be quiet and deliver. Once he starts doing both, then I think we've got a superstar. I really do. When I always talk about who's next and who's going to take that next step up for Matchroom, he could be that guy. He's the one I always looked at like, oh, Buatsi. He's that guy. And I think we do need to see him have a good performance here. Again, a good performance, fingers crossed, December, and then 2021, go. 2021, go. I say go, we've got to be careful. I always mention, and people always laugh at me when I always say sharks everywhere. There are sharks everywhere in the light heavyweight division. Once you get into that top 15, top 20 sort of ranking, and Buatsi's got kicking the door down to that, to the top 20, I think, ranking. I'm going to read out a list of some of the guys that are around. Kovalev's still there, but forget Kovalev for now. I think that's done. Dmitry Bivol, remember, is signed to Matchroom, so it's possible to have that fight. Then you got Peterbiev, Gilberto Ramirez, Joe Smith, Jesse Hart, Jean Pascal, who still looks fantastic, Maxim Vlasov, Marcus Brown, Badu Jack, Barrera's there. Barrera's a good name. Barrera's a very good name as an opponent. Caparello's there still, as I mentioned. So there's guys there. And you know another fight that people sleep on a bit? Fanglong Meng. I'm pretty sure that's the guy that put Buglioni to the sword. Let me have a look. And looked quite good doing it as well. I think it is the guy. Yeah, it is him. Okay, yeah, destroyed Buglioni. I remember that, destroyed him. He's had 2 fights since then. Hasn't fought in 2020 yet. See what he's going to do. There was talk about him versus Beterbiev, right, for an IBF mandatory. I don't know what's happening with that. But yeah, we'll see. But look, good luck to Buatsi. Good luck to everyone fighting on the card. I will tune in. I do want to see John Harden fight. I'm very interested in that. And Chantal Cameron as well. And look, Babbage. We want to see a bit of Babbage, don't we, right now? So it'll be interesting to see. All right, let's have a look if there's any news or anything else we could talk about before we move on. Eddie Hearn could see Anthony Joshua versus Zhili Zhang as major event down the line. Let's move on very quickly. This is interesting. Jason Rosario says he never fully recovered after big shot in the 6. He didn't. And what's interesting is that people are pointing out, and I've seen it now myself, he literally collapsed on the stool before he came out for the round in which he got put down with the body shot. There's a time he does that on the stool and his corner wake him up. You know, fuck your corner if your corner are going to put you back in the ring after seeing that. Like, that's why you need a corner where everyone is just calm. Like, panic sets in corners a lot. And it must be difficult, right? It must be. It's a world title fight and you're trying to, get your fighter to kind of wake up and come on, you can do this, you can do that. Once your fighter slouches in the corner and literally kind of just does that, go and watch it. It's trending. Well, not it's trending. It's over the internet. Just type it in. Then you call that fight off. You call the fight off. Health of the fighter is first. Forget everything else. He can live for another day. He'll come again. Like that. It was scary. He literally does that, people, and then he kind of shakes up. He's gone. He's gone in the corner. Fuck, some cornerman, man. What are you trying to do? You're trying to kill your fighters. Jeez. Like, scary. Like, what are you getting out of sending them out of there again? No, are you land one big one and maybe, but that is very slim. He is literally collapsing in the corner and you're like putting water in his head trying to wake him up and send him out there again against a puncher as well in Charlo. If it was against someone that maybe couldn't punch, then all right, you know what, okay, you maybe think, he might land one and that person can't punch. You send him out there to a killer. Horrible corner, people. I can't stand it sometimes. Anthony Joshua, Joe Joyce to spar again ahead of upcoming fights. Okay. It's not really news though, is it? Marius Brader saying, I'm considering a move to heavyweight. He's on a small side. He's too small. He's too small for heavyweight. I mean, there's a picture going around of him versus Tony Bellew. They were supposed to get it on in 2016. And Tony Bellew obviously isn't a big heavyweight at all. And Tony Bellew's much bigger than him. It's too small. In the land of the giants now. Good luck. And he's too old as well. Like, he's 30, I think he's 36. He's left it too late. I mean, I get why he's doing it. But he's not even like Usyk has got a bit of dust around him. So when we heard Usyk's coming to heavyweight, everyone was excited. I don't think there'll be that same fanfare for Bradis, which is unfair, but I don't think there'll be that same fanfare. What else have we got here? Okay, Jaron Ennis's manager says, my guy is bigger, stronger, faster, and hits harder than Crawford. What is this? Bigger, stronger, faster. What is this? 100-meter sprint. This is boxing. Like, I want to hear you say, if I'm Jaron Ennis's manager, I want to say, my guy is more skilled and a better boxer than Crawford. Then we have a conversation. Right now, you're giving me attributes that mean little in boxing. Like, if this is a boxing match, every fighter that Crawford's probably fought is probably bigger, right? A bit stronger, maybe hits harder as well. All right. What about the other attributes? What about the other ones? Better boxing IQ. You know what I mean? He's a better boxer, better fundamentals, better footwork. I like Boots Ennis, but come on, man. It's Crawford you're talking about. It's Crawford, Crawford. Stop yourself, brother. Stop yourself. Okay. Errol Spence to spar Monday for the first time since suffering injuries in car accident. Really? Don't believe that. I think he sparred prior to that, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, when is that fight? Sorry, that's a bit random. When is Errol Spence Garcia, the actual day? I don't even know. I don't even know when it is. Should know, shouldn't I? Or should I? Should I know? Should I know? 21st of November. What are we now? 29th of September. 8 weeks. Can't wait for that. It's a good one. It's a good one, right? We got some good ones coming up, man. It's a shame a lot of these fights are happening behind closed doors. But I do think, I think it's somehow benefiting certain fighters, especially hot-headed fighters. I feel like, when I was watching Charlo Derevyanchenko, there was a couple of times where Charlo hurt Derevyanchenko, and I was thinking, if fans were there and they were screaming him on, he would have gone for the kill. Gone for the kill and he could have got clipped himself. I think without fans there, you don't have that emotion to try and get the stoppage for the fans. I think you're thinking a bit more. Even though fighters do say when they're in the ring, they kind of zone out and they don't hear shit. I don't believe that. I do think you can hear everything. Well, not everything, but you can definitely hear the fans screaming. And I think some fighters are benefiting from the fact that there are no fans and they're concentrating more on their work rather than the noise and the kind of energy of a crowd. So I think, especially the hot-headed ones, the ones that are kind of chess players, I think they're fine. But the ones that are hot-headed and go for the kill when they hear the fans going crazy, I think they might be benefiting a bit. Just a thought. Just a thought. All right, anything else before we pack up and go? I done a podcast with Rob Tebbett from Boxing Social yesterday. Very fun. Obviously, Rob's like ridiculously knowledgeable, frighteningly knowledgeable. Made me look like I don't know fuck all, which I don't, to be honest. And we're speaking about Chisora Usyk, obviously that fight coming up in October. And I think me and him share the same opinion that Usyk's just far too good for Chisora. I'm a big Chisora fan, but there's levels to this, and I can't see any way that, well, that's a bullshit. I can see a way Chisora could knock him out. But realistically, I can just see Usyk destroying Chisora. Destroying. Almost, Chisora's just too slow. Remember David Haye said this, and look, Usyk's not the fastest heavyweight, but his foot movement's fantastic. But I remember David Haye talking about coming up to heavyweight and saying how slow the heavyweights were. He couldn't believe how slow they were compared to the cruisers. And Chisora is not the fastest anyway. And I can see Usyk just my God, I can see that coming a mile off, and then just literally going through the gears, giving the first couple of rounds away as he downloads information, and then just going boom, and getting rid of Chisora late. You can see it. Not through one punch, just an accumulation of punches and maybe even a towel being thrown in. But credit to Chisora. I love, more fighters could learn from Chisora, right? The way in which he's conducted his career, the way in which he's stayed relevant. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. I mean, this guy has come back from some heavy defeats and he's about to have a big pay-per-view event against a pound-for-pounder. It's unbelievable. And he's probably going to make 7 figures. 7 figures, 9 defeats, 7 figures. It's fantastic. And he's almost it's almost like MMA. And what I mean by that is you can have defeats in MMA. It's not a problem, right? You've got guys that have had 7, 8 defeats in MMA. Look at Jorge Masvidal as a good example, but still can be superstars and make good money. Whereas in boxing, that's very rare. There's not that many boxers. Obviously Manny Pacquiao, but that's a long career. There's not that many boxers, especially boxers that are not elite, because Chisora is not elite, that can still make very, very good money, but have had several defeats. What he said, 9 defeats. He's been knocked out a few times. He stunk the place out against Caballero, for example. Remember that? So credit to him. I just feel like this is obviously a step too far. That's my personal opinion. And I just feel like Usyk's going to be just way too sharp for him. Way too sharp. But then again, as you guys know, I am shocking at predictions. Don't put any money on anything I say. Fuck it, now you'd be bankrupt. Peace and love.